All right. So, welcome back to my channel. Um, I wanted to talk about something that I've had this conversation before with plenty of people, and the people that know me, they know that I love to read a lot and I love to study, and occasionally I give good advice. So, just wanted to talk about 4 points that you can use in your own life that can help you overcome your enemies or your adversary, or at least be ahead of the curve, be one step above everyone else, or not above, but in front of everyone else as far as your thinking. If you don't want to be caught up in like just politics and just groupthink, there's ways you can do it. You just have to really be disciplined in the methods. So I'm gonna get right into it. So there's 4 things that I did for myself, and I saw the difference that it made in my life. And I noticed other successful people, they kind of think this way as well. So if you want to be successful, if you want to be able to have control of your life, then definitely take these points seriously and try to apply it. Work on it every day. The more you work on it, the better you're gonna be. So the first one is read a lot. So you can kind of see my library back there. I love to read. I love to learn. And the way I view reading is it has to be something that you enjoy already. It can't be forced reading or something about a topic that you don't care about. It's not going to work. So what I like to do is I like to read books that help me make more money, or books that help me get to where I want to get to, or if I need to learn a skill or trade, anything that makes me better, personal development. I love to read books about it because I see it as I'm getting a great bargain of information and wisdom for cheap. So usually the people that wrote the books, they have years of experiences. They're older. They went through so many stuff and they made a lot of mistakes, and then they write it down. And then I like to take that knowledge, I like to read it, and now I can avoid their mistakes, and I save probably like 20 years of time, because that's usually what their journey goes through. Maybe it's like 30 years, 50 years, but I want to save that time. So I download the information in that book, and then I apply it to my life, and then I move differently, and I move accordingly, and it's helped me out tremendously. So I know, like grade school when we were younger, we was forced to read books that we didn't care about. So, and in college, if you did went to college, you have to read more books that you are boring and not that interesting. And so when you get to adulthood, you just don't care about reading like that. A lot of people, we just don't. So, but for me, when I started my business, that's when it was just like, okay, the more information, the more relevant information I learned, the more money I can make. And that's when it started kickstarting me, like, okay, if that's the business side. What about the personal development side? If I want to read more on communication, and that it will help me on my journey. So reading as much as possible. If you have any questions about anything in life, sure, you can ask people, but also just get a book on it. Amazon, that's how it started. Amazon started as an online library. Now they sell all types of products, but yeah, like any book that you want, just go on Amazon, look for it, just buy it. You can get the used copy. Sometimes I get used, new if it's really, it just depends. And just read it, take notes, and I mean that's your information. You got your knowledge, and then you go on to the next one. So definitely read a lot. Most people don't read, at least in the U.S. But I mean, I guess this is just globally. Most people don't read. That's how you get your edge, because people just want to look on TV or look on social media. It's just quick information is what they want. So that's how you're going to be faster than anyone else when it comes to like just thinking critically, because you do read. The second one is just observe the crowd. So stand back, just observe what other people do. Do you like the outcome that a lot of people are getting? If not, then don't do what they're doing. Make adjustments. If you don't like what people are receiving, or the return on investment or whatever that other people are getting, well, it doesn't make any sense if you do the same exact thing and then you start to complain. Of course, I mean, you're going to get the same thing they get because you're doing the same thing that they're doing. So observe the crowd and see, okay, is this where you want to be? Does this make sense to you? And think for yourself. It's really important. Like, you can't just go off of like I'll give you an example. I used to think that politicians were really intelligent and really know what they was doing, and then I realized, okay, you step back and I see, okay, there's certain politicians or a certain ideology that really Democratic ideology. Republican has their thing too, but at least they're more focused on facts. When it comes to the Democratic Party, from what I know, especially this administration, they just lie about everything, and it's like they're living in a fantasy land. And then you look at the results of a lot of these places where they're in control, And it's just like, man, I don't want to live around these places. Like, it's terrible. So it's just like, okay, you step back and you just observe and you just see, okay, what's really going on. Really important. You don't want to think like the crowd, because then you follow the crowd, you get what they get, and you're gonna be complaining about what they're complaining, and it's not fulfilling if you're living off of someone else's drumbeat. So the third one is understand all perspectives. So this is where it comes to diversity of thought. You wanna think about different perspectives, different angles of a topic. You don't want to be in an echo chamber. If you're in an echo chamber, you can't grow. It comes down to your comfort zone. So when you're in an echo chamber, people are confirming your own beliefs. So you're comfortable. You're in your comfort zone. Well, guess what? You don't grow when you're in your comfort zone. So you're not going to get to the heights that you want to get to, because you're just limited in that box that everyone has you in. So instead, learn to listen to other perspectives. It takes discipline to not get emotionally involved or irate and stuff like that, but it's so much beneficial to you, because you get to learn information that from a different angle, from a different lens. Like, so think of the number 6. It's written down. It looks like a number 6 from one angle, and then from the other side looks like a number 9. So if people are on both sides of those numbers, or that number, then both people will be right. Like, hey, I see this, I see this. You're missing out on, like, you don't know how much you're missing out if you don't hear from other perspectives, or see from other angles. It's just limited. So that doesn't make you wiser. It makes you more ignorant, because you're unaware of what other options or opportunities or explanations that there are out there, because you don't want to see the other side. You're comfortable. So definitely try to understand different perspectives in life and anything that you come across. And then the fourth one, play the long game. So this reminds me of the book 48 Laws of Power. Maybe most of you all heard of it. It's by Robert Greene, and basically just talks about 48 different ways that you can gain power for yourself. Now, some people say, oh, it's messed up, whatever. The whole point is, don't look at your immediate gratification. It's all about delayed gratification, or the long game. So, in some situations, you just gotta let people win a battle. Let them win the battle, because you're thinking, okay, what's further down the line? Is there something more beneficial than this quick win? So I think about it in business. When I'm in Nigeria, the problem that I see is a lot of these salespeople are only thinking about that one sale, the one sale in front of them, but they don't think about customer service in a way where they can get repeat customers. Now, I understand the situation. Money comes by hard. They don't know if they're going to get consistent customers or stuff like that. But at least in the tourist industry or in business like that, like, if you always thinking about just the sale right in front of you, you're not going to build longevity, because you're always going to be worried about that first one. You're not thinking about the long game. You're not thinking about the back end of how repeat customers give you more money than just one customer that you are able to get. It's completely different. If you really start running the numbers and start looking at the statistics, it's better to lose money on the first sale and then make it up on following sales from that same person. It's the lifetime value of a customer. That's what it is. So anyways, if you bring it back to regular life, you want to think about the long game. You don't want quick wins. You don't want short term or immediate gratification. You want to think of delayed gratification. You want to be disciplined in that way. So always think about the long game. If it helps, go ahead and check out the 48 Laws of Power. The audiobook is actually on YouTube for free. If you just want to listen to it, you don't want to buy it. I actually bought it. I didn't get a chance to read it through yet, but I do have it. So it's a really good book. I've heard the audio version before, but I like to take notes on when I read. So, but anyways, those are the 4 points to make you wiser than your enemies, so that you don't get caught up in whatever tricks and whatever foolishness that they try to do on you. Hopefully this helps. If it did, then like this video, and also consider subscribing to my channel, and let me know in the comment section down below if is this what you do for your own self? Do you see being wise as this? Like, how do you how do you deal with your enemies or your adversaries, or just situations that you don't like? Like, what do you do for yourself? What's your own personal development? I love to hear your thoughts. So definitely let me know. So until the next video,